You really want to start the show like that? I saw you hit the record button and you go, do you really want to start the show like that?
Absolutely not.
Jesus Christ.
You don't get to cut that.
I've noticed
10,000 articles on BuzzFeed complaining about us.
I know. I've seen what he does. He starts a conversation and then he just slowly hits that record button, and now the show's begun.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You drive me insane.
We got some good shit out of that.
Did we?
You're fucking
We just talk
welcome,
about
fucker.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's just dumb ramblings that I think we're not recording.
You know what I missed though?
What?
Theme song.
Cut him out.
Oh, fucking right into it, Tay. Love that. Anybody, welcome back to the Drunken Ship Podcast. This is episode 80.
Fuck.
Fucking 80 episodes. Here we are. Cargo, what are you doing? You look so focused.
Dude, I'm
What are you
doing.
doing? You're still going
big
on the
business over
gorillas
here.
rabbit hole?
Big business going on over here, man.
Big business.
Don't worry. Big. No little big business over here. One of us got to be plugged into the web here.
That feels like a Rick and Morty bit.
What?
Little big business.
Little business.
Yeah,
Little business. What, you over here. You little business.
Me?
Big
business.
Yeah, there we go.
I miss when Rick and Morty was good. Do you remember that?
I never
It's still
watched the show.
good. It's just the fan base got
Is it still
into it.
active? Like,
Yeah, I think it's like season 4. I think.
What
now,
happened?
season 5.
Why is no lab
After
people?
season 3,
The
it
hype
just
went down.
kind of, not that the hype went down, but fans, after season 2, fans went fucking crazy. You remember the Szechuan sauce thing?
Yeah.
And then I was ashamed to be a Rick and Morty person.
Do you remember that video where that dude is like, he takes his shirt and put it over his head and he's like rolling around the McDonald's and he's like, chicken nuggies.
What,
He's
that
like,
happened?
he was like screaming.
That happened?
Yeah.
Pull that up.
It's
Pull that up right now.
Jordan,
I wanna
pull
see
it
let's
it.
see.
Rick and Morty chicken nuggies guy?
Yeah, let me see that.
Sounds
That,
good, right?
It's the
even
most
saying that makes me want to kill myself.
scariest. Like, it's so and then they showed Justin Rowling. I forget who shows
Justin
him
Roiland?
Yeah, they showed him the video for it. I
Ugh,
forget. He was on a podcast or something.
that's
Let's see.
fucking cringe. Ugh. Yeah, Rick and Morty fans just like went crazy after the Szechuan sauce thing because McDonald's released like a
Did they still have that sauce? Or just
no, it was a limited release thing for Rick and Morty, and then they started doing that shit, like rolling around on the floor of a McDonald's, yelling
Yeah.
chicken nuggies, and like literally storming the McDonald's for the fucking Szechuan sauce.
Was that the Mulan 90s sauce? They had?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was exactly that.
And
And I
niggas
think
like-
it's because Rick did a joke about the Mulan Szechuan sauce and Rick and Morty
It was the beginning of season 2.
in the beginning of season 2, and then by the end of season 2, they had released the actual sauce, or the beginning of season 3, and fans went
nuts.
fucking insane.
Oh my god.
And
Oh,
it was
Mings.
dude, it was the cringiest. And so then after that point, every time I said I liked Rick and Morty, everybody looked at me with like a little bit of disgust.
Yeah, I found it.
And I was just like, I have to stop watching
There
this
you
shit.
That's what it feels like to be a Sonic fan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's so for the
Turn
audio
this off.
answers,
Yeah.
the kid is jumping on the counter. He's wearing a do-rag too. I just
Look
not
at
noticed.
this guy in the corner is like, I want to die. What the fuck is this?
They don't make me so angry. I'm coming to work.
I mean, this
like,
is,
tired.
and then he Naruto
Naruto
run out
runs
the
away.
run. Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
I mean, obviously, Cloud is a hell of a drug because people.
People will do
people are
anything
just
for it.
roasting him in the comments too. It's not funny.
No, it's not funny. It's if I saw that happen and I was at McDonald's, I would absolutely
Like, get off
fucking-
the counter, dude.
I would kick him. I would kick him.
This is like what 3 years before COVID.
Yeah.
Jesus,
It was a
he's
simpler
cop.
time, man.
You know,
That has changed a lot since COVID, right? Like now we look at shit that we used to do pre-COVID and we go like, we
It's
were
movies.
fucking
Like,
disgusting.
you see people in crowds and shit like, oh, they're not wearing masks.
Yeah.
the early times.
For Adriana kept saying that. She
Yeah.
was like, kept watching old films and like, where's our mask?
My girlfriend
times.
said that every time there's an airport scene, she's like, why are these people not wearing their fucking masks? And it's just like, babe, it's
Right,
the
there was
90s.
a time.
It's
there
the
was a time
90s.
before the Land
No.
Before Time.
Land
Before
Before
the
Time.
dark times.
Did you ever watch those movies, The Land Before Time?
Yeah, I did.
did.
There was like 25.
Yeah, they still make them today.
No, get out.
They're
Really?
on Netflix. I watched like what, maybe the first 2. Littlefoot. What's his name? Littlefoot.
Yeah.
He used to be my boy back in the day.
No, it's a girl.
He's a boy.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
It's a girl?
Yeah, I think it's a she.
Littlefoot.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
blew my mind.
Yeah. It's just like bald.
No, that's like what I used to think. Poe from Teletubbies was a boy. So
Bro, they're all
They're all women.
non-binary.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
she's a girl.
dude, they don't have genitals. What
Well,
do you
the
mean?
pink one was probably my first experience of seeing a gay character on TV. That
Just a
pink
gay
one.
Teletubby?
Wait.
The purple one. He was very feminine.
Tay,
Yeah.
they can't be gay, dude.
Yes.
They're literal aliens.
He was a male, but he was very feminine.
He wasn't a male.
It was. Google it.
No, I don't have to Google it, Tay, to
Google
not
it.
know that
I want you to
none of them
Google it.
had
Like,
genders.
Yeah, yes, it is. Green was blue. Lala was the yellow one. She was a girl.
This is your headcanon.
No, this is real.
This is like in your head that you've made
Dude, I
this
was a
up.
fan back in the
Dude,
day.
if he's right, that's the funniest thing. Absolutely
Yes.
Google it.
I'm not Googling.
Googling it.
No,
Google
this is
it.
ridiculous.
That's the purple one's always like
doing this.
questionable as a kid. Like, why is he always having a purse?
Did he
What
have a
purse?
He was very.
Dude, they also had that suck machine that like
Yeah.
rolled around like that. That was actually
The
that the first Roomba?
vacuum? The
Dude,
little
I told
vacuum
myself,
Made
I
his
told
pancake
myself
things.
last week, I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Next podcast I do, I'm gonna be super chill. I'm not gonna be screaming into the mic.
What's his name?
thing? And the
Dipsy?
first
Sure-
thing here talks
sure
about
enough-
gay
yeah, I know.
Teletubbies. You lose your shit.
I know. Why can't I just hang out? Why can't I just be chill?
You
I got
can't do
no.
it.
I don't have it. I don't have it in me.
Dude, I fucked up my neck the other day while sleeping. That is the stupidest injury
That's why you didn't tweet about that.
you can get. Yeah, because I was gonna stream Sifu, which by the way, Sifu is incredible. Love that game.
Yeah, I've been.
How much is that? I get to it.
It's like 40.
I'm surprised you didn't get it.
Same with Horizon. I'm probably wait till like a week. Or
You're
two.
not gonna get Horizon day one,
No.
dude. I'm gonna play Horizon tonight.
Yeah.
when it comes
Does it
out.
come out tonight?
Yeah. 12,
Midnight, 12:01.
No shit.
I'm fucking killing a dinosaur, bro. I'm
never-
killing a blender tonight.
Shooting a blender with a little arrow.
Yeah, with a spear like a caveman. Just shit.
Adriana walked into your living room like, what the fuck?
I saw Seafood, but I never paid attention to it at conferences and stuff. I just,
It
Glanced
snuck up
over.
on me too.
I was like, I just wanted a game to play before Horizon because I was like, I just wanted a new game. But Sifu is,
you have Seafood?
yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
no,
So this is how I prepped to play Sifu. I watched IP Man or Ip Man,
Good man.
on Netflix right before I played it.
Is it like Sleeping Dogs where you fight with the Analog 6?
It is
No, you fight more with the face buttons.
It's nice. That's what I want.
but
Yeah.
but to block, you have to hold a button and then block a certain way with the analog.
it's like a fighter then.
So you have to actually like know if it's a low kick, you have to go up. If it's or down, I can't remember.
If they're hitting high, you dodge down. If they're hitting low, you dodge high.
You can though,
Yeah.
like
It's very technical.
Yeah.
If they swing from the right, you can hit R or L1 and then move the analog stick right. If you parry it right, it'll clink and then they'll be stunned and you can reverse back.
I see people posting like, so the goal is to be young as possible.
So yeah, so
It's like a roguelike.
Yeah.
It is a roguelike. Like they kill your dad, and then you're getting revenge on the 5 people that like killed your
like
dad
the
or
old movie
whatever.
back in the day.
It's so
Hell yeah.
fucking
Super
oddly cinematic.
yeah, they have they make a ton of references
Like
to
martial
like
arts
martial
films.
arts
Fuck
films.
They have an old boy reference.
Yeah,
in
I know,
there.
that's
First
all
level,
Fucking
yeah.
sick, yeah.
The lighting too is everything's the same.
It's so fair.
Yeah,
I wish
yeah.
the game was more wide, like the camera was more wide, and like the way that it is in those scenes.
Yeah,
'cause
it's
it
almost
looks
like over the shoulder.
so fucking good. But yeah, the game you're following, you're getting revenge on the people that killed your dad, and
So classic.
it's such a simple story.
Yeah.
The intro of the game is like 10 minutes. They're like, oh, you play as the guy that kills the dad, you kill the dad, and then you,
Which I also, by the way, I love when games do that. I
Yeah.
love when you get to play as the villain at the beginning of the game
Mhm.
and you're really overpowered,
yeah,
and then you just crush everybody, and then you start off as another. I love when
Assassin's
games.
Creed do that. 3.
I'm not,
Assassin's Creed 4.
One of them did it, right?
oh,
'Cause you play as,
Unity.
Kenway.
Unity did that. You did it. You play as your dad, in Unity,
What's the one he plays a Templar?
because you're a Templar.
No, I thought that was the beginning of 4.
Or 3. What's
3 is
3 is,
or no. I'm wrong. It's not
Black
Unity.
Flag.
It's not Black Flag. It's in
it's a separate DLC, right?
in Assassin's Creed 3, you play as Connor's father, who is a Templar,
And then
at
you
the
transition
very
into
beginning,
Connor,
and then then you're Connor.
That makes
once you're
sense.
in, because you're in England when you're a Templar, and then when you get born as Connor, you're half Native American, half Templar
And you're born in the American.
in the Americas. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So anyway, yeah, but Tifa's like super technical. Like you have to like learn the patterns and learn how to dodge. So it's a lot like I hate this comparison because it's not as hard as Dark Souls,
Don't say
but
it.
it is.
It's not. It's not
the pattern recognition of like
understand,
Dark Souls. Yeah.
It's a. It's like a roguelike.
That's more like a fighting game.
Did you just mute me?
No.
Oh, I was like, what are you doing?
I had something in my
Brian was like, I'm gonna turn off this nonsense.
Just
Whatever.
fucking get this shit out of here.
Can we stop the Breath of the Wild and Dark Souls comparisons?
So I agree with you on Dark
Jesus.
Souls. I agree with you on Dark Souls. Breath of the Wild is like the perfect formula for an open world game, though. In terms of like systems interact and like having like really great native systems interact with each other to create better gameplay, Breath of the Wild is fucking
It's
prime.
It's a fantastic game, but
Yeah.
it's just
So you think that I guess because these games, both of them, I think what makes it annoying is because people compare them so much because they've set standards now of like this is the upper echelon of like what these games should be like.
Breath of the Wild.
Well,
Breath
in terms of technical stuff, I guess because
No.
like how like technical like.
Breath of the Wild is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But it's just Nintendo.
Well,
fitting
I
modern
think it's
standards.
because like they
Disagree.
introduced some really neat.
Disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
They have
Go
like a
ahead.
ton of. Well, I can defend it in this aspect, which like the mechanics of it, where you can basically climb anything. Which with an open world, that's a big thing. Is you could just climb whatever that mountain. All right, cool. I'm gonna start scaling as I have the energy, and then like with the cooking and everything of like you can make different combinations and stuff like that. The world interacts in different ways together, which is really interesting. And I think open world should do more stuff like that.
Yeah, but look at the world. It's so they use.
Yeah, because it's Nintendo and you can't really push
Yeah,
it.
they
This
did.
game's also from 2017.
I
And-
mean, that's what I'm saying.
And in those aspects, like, yeah, it's lacking.
They
And-
use the story to justify its technical.
but
capabilities.
some of those technical abilities should be like standard for open world, and they're not yet.
Like mechanics of the game.
Some of the
like
like
cooking?
like cooking, yeah, like the cooking's pretty in depth with that game.
But it's not even the cooking. It's just like the fact that here's why Breath of the Wild is like the perfect template for an open world game. Not because of the story or necessarily because of the combat or because of the world, but the philosophy of game design in Breath of the Wild should absolutely be the template for any open world game. You start any open world game released by Ubisoft and like you started fucking Dying Light or you start Watch Dogs or whatever the fuck, and they send you through 3 hours of tutorials. And then after you get the tutorial, you unlock one more item, and then this is to another hour and a half of tutorial to unlock that item. By the time that you're playing in the open world, you've played 6 hours of tutorial levels to understand every single mechanic about the game. And then by the time that you're actually in the open world, you find out that there's not a fucking anything to do because the game is so restrictive with its gameplay mechanics. Like you can't shoot a specific thing and get a reaction out of something. It's just aesthetic. In Breath of the Wild, they give you that you play for 1 hour. They give you a paraglider. They tell you what to do, and then it's yours. You can go anywhere you want at any time you want, fight anything you want.
I think it is cool that you could go straight to the end of the game. And,
Yeah.
and then it'd be hard as hell,
but you could do
but
it.
you couldn't do it. I think that type of freedom is like refreshing.
It's a great game, but I think the best part for me is like it's so.
What's give me some positive and negatives.
It's just a
From it.
chill game compared to most open world games. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
But in terms of like when I see people, like, I mean, it's a great game. I love this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think when people like praise it, like PlayStation, Xbox been doing games like this way ahead.
No, they haven't.
This Nintendo just did something. If it didn't have Nintendo's name on it, name brand on it, it wouldn't be praised.
What, okay, give me some examples of games that are
Like
like
Assassin's Creed, GTA, open world.
Wait,
Open world game.
wait. Which
Huh?
one?
Not an open world game.
What? Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed?
Assassin's Creed is not an open world
Yeah, it
game.
is.
No, it's a hybrid.
No.
It's a mission-driven open world game.
Yeah, like majority of open world games. Horizon, I can go straight to the game, play the game. It's a linear storyline.
Yeah. But that's what I'm talking
Same
about.
with GTA as well.
That's not an open like the world is a playground that you can walk around in.
It's a sandbox.
It's a sandbox, but that is a sandbox game, not an open world game.
They're the same.
In my
thing.
opinion, not the same thing.
Yeah.
No. Open world game is when a game allows you to traverse the world kind of like freely. And like you can choose to do missions or you can choose to do missions or not do missions, but there are the dissonance between the gameplay and the missions is very much there. When you go like if you have a target beacon for a mission and then that triggers a storyline element for the game versus the story happening a little bit more naturally while you're in the open world, that's the big difference. There is in open world games like Assassin's Creed, Horizon Zero Dawn.
What about Skyrim?
I fucking hate Skyrim.
Okay, I was in a open world game.
That I would count that as an open world game because you're getting quests and you can choose what order to do the quest, and the main story quest it doesn't really feel any significantly different than the other quest. I think
you do need a little bit of structure though. I feel like Breath of the Wild, there's like some parts where you just go and you're like, well, why the fuck can I not do certain things? I think it can be like a little detrimental, like just.
Crockett, say it with me because you've said it 3 episodes in a row. Detrimental. Detrimental. There you go.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Like Mario Odyssey is an open world game?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
What the fuck it is?
No, it's
not.
Yes, it is.
Mario Odyssey.
That is like
It has branches. It's like
those are
zones.
like levels, but you
No,
can just
they're
go
not.
back and traverse them.
They're open world
Every
games.
level is
It's
open.
world. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Every level is open, but it's not an open world game. There's
Yeah.
not one central hub.
But
is
those hubs have those open world elements in the game.
Open world elements.
Yes.
But that's not an open world game.
But with its structure is way better than Breath of the Wild, in my opinion.
I disagree. I
Because
actually
it has a goal from start to end, but it still has open world inside. Breath of the Wild, what people praise it for, it just throws you into a world.
Yeah.
And you do what you want. There's no structure there.
There's actually a significant amount of structure. They give you Breath of the Wild gives you enough structure to play the game, which is here's a paraglider. You have to kill this 4 beasts and then kill Ganon.
It's like
However you want to do it. That's
All
up to
right,
you.
give me another game that you like other than Breath of the Wild. That's like on comparison.
Open world.
For open world, yeah.
This is gonna be a problem in any Sonic game too. That's why I rolled my eyes at it because it doesn't work.
Yeah,
The philosophy isn't there.
I actually want to give props to the new Pokemon, the Legends of Arceus game.
Looks bare bones.
It's in terms of aesthetics a little bit, but it is kind of the formula that needed to come out of Pokemon. So I'm imagining that the next game in that series, in that lineup, this is what the main series are now going to look like. They're going to look like this, where you're walking around the field and see the Pokemon. That's absolutely what I think
That's
it's going
insane
to be
that
from
it
now
took
on.
them so long to make that.
That's not going to happen. Don't get your hopes up.
Dude, the amount of positive reception that Pokemon Arceus has been getting for revitalizing the Pokemon formula, it would be insane for them to go back to the old Sword and Shield methodology.
But Game Freaks would probably do it. So who developed Arceus?
Game
'Cause
Freaks.
It was Game Freaks.
Yeah, it was Game Freak.
That's surprising that they actually did that.
People, over time and time again, it proves it. They want traditional gameplay again.
But the conversation in Arceus has been so different.
Yeah, because
Everything I've heard about it has been praised.
But as soon as they make the next Pokemon game, the traditional Pokemon game is supposed to be, and it's open world elements, people are not gonna like. I want to go back.
I disagree, man. I don't see that.
They should
happening.
make a sub series. They should keep the open world game, but make it a sub series. They shouldn't make the.
I think they should. Yeah, they should do like they could trade off, give it to another developer, let them make this line of series of games, and then keep whatever.
But Arceus is a mainline game. It's like in the main releases.
Yeah, but it was a sub game. It's not part.
It's
of
not a
the
sub game. It's a main release. It's a canonical main release.
Yeah, like look at Nintendo when they do Mario. Mario has different variations of the same character. Mario JRPGs, which is the Mario Paper Mario story.
Yeah.
The new Super Mario series, which is 2D games.
But those
3D
are
games.
those are sub games.
Yeah, that's what Pokemon needs to do. A lot of franchises need to copy that formula. If you want to make something like keep the main formula there, which is the mainline game, then have things branch off to separate gameplays and stuff.
You know,
But
this was
the main format for Pokemon is getting so much flack for the last like 5 years.
Yeah, because they wasn't trying enough. Clearly,
Yeah, but this is them trying enough now. I
Not
don't
really.
see them
just
going
because
back.
it's a different gameplay doesn't mean he's trying. It means the actual game is good. Is what people mean.
Well, that's what they put effort into the game, into testing out a new formula for the game. I think they're trying to give more of what fans were expecting out of like a console like the Switch for like Pokemon Arceus. And I totally see that being the trend for the new releases. Are they going to do remakes that follow the more traditional like Diamond and Pearl stuff? Probably, but I feel like main releases from here on out are going to follow this more dynamic formula.
It's like when
got.
Pokemon Go came out and they did
Pokemon what?
Pokemon Go, and
Yeah.
after the success of that, which was large,
Yeah.
they tried to make a remake of the main Pokemon Red and Blue, which is my favorite Pokemon games, into
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Go variations of those games, and it didn't really do well for them.
Oh yeah, but that's because that's a whole the gameplay level in that is not as involved as would be in this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm
in
saying.
Pokemon Arceus.
They took something that people praised at the time, successful,
Yeah.
and they put it into
I
something
don't know,
in the
man,
sequel. It didn't work.
That reads kind of cynical to me. I think that the new Pokemon
No, I'm not
Arceus
saying
is
like
really fun.
I'm not saying they're gonna keep the traditional games. They're gonna also hopefully make a open world. It can be a sub series though.
Yeah, nah, I think they're gonna switch to this format. I think-
well, it's a prequel, right? Arceus is a prequel
Yeah, it's a
that
prequel.
but it's in a mainline series of.
He's talking about
it takes place in the Diamond and Pearl storyline.
Yeah. Okay. But so that means it is a sub game.
No, it's a mainline game.
But it's not like. But their mainline games are typically Sword and Shield. It's like a 2 variant thing.
It's a mainline game.
All
It's a
Pokemon
main
games are in the
release.
same universe.
But you see what I mean? It's a different formula.
It's a different formula, but
Yeah.
I think that's good. That's what the mainline games needed.
I think Game Freaks would
See, what you're just
solve
saying
it.
there is why Sonic fucked over.
Say that again?
Because the problem with games, like what you say, Sonic, Pokemon should go 3D
Yeah.
space. Okay, which is fine. Should be a sub-serious person, in my opinion. But what makes Sonic fail is Sega didn't have consistency with their gameplay styles. They kept changing it up every once in a blue moon. And people are like, what is Sonic's style? For me personally, it's the classic 90 games. That's it. And they want to do a sub-series, do the 2D
Well, you're talking
games.
about like Evolution.
Yeah, but Evolution, it didn't work. No
Well,
matter
it's
how
like
much they tried.
they try. It's from the outside, it seemed like they're kind of like they just went with like how Mario changed to 3D.
Yeah, but Mario,
and then they wanted it to go
kept
like
he kept pillars. You don't make a mainline Mario game that's somehow a racing game. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, but that's switching genres.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it is.
But these are not genre changes.
No, that's not.
These are gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
changes.
Sonic does that. He changes
Yeah,
gameplay styles and turn to mainline games. Pokemon, no one should do that. It really fucks up your franchise because it loses identity. That's why Mario did pillars.
But then it gets like stale if you keep doing.
No.
You can only do it for so long before you have to be like, okay, we really need a.
I think that you're
refreshing.
conflating a genre switch versus a gameplay switch.
What the hell does that mean? Conflating.
It's like
Gameplay, yeah.
mixing them both up. Because a genre, like if you turn Sonic into a racing game, that is a genre switch. Or if you turn Sonic into an RPG, a turn-based RPG or something
They did.
like they did, then that is bad because then Sonic has no identity. Sure.
Wait, who did they?
Sonic, yes.
Sonic was in our.
Sonic has a
turn-based?
very identity problem. That's what hurts the franchise right now. That's why
I think they try. It seems like they just try whatever. They throw something into a hat and they're like, "Did it work?"
Yeah, but
No?
people there's people out there that wants a Sonic Heroes too. That
What
doesn't
is-
make
Oh, Sonic Heroes. Yeah.
it doesn't work because it's like
Well, it's just they want a sequel probably to their game that they liked as a kid. Because I like Sonic Heroes when I played it with my cousin.
It's so
It is a bad game.
But I'm saying
It's good, but I mean,
But you
but
liked
you
it.
remember the good times you had probably as a child and playing with your cousin.
I'm saying games should have they can keep the 3D thing perfectly okay.
Yeah.
But don't make that to a mainline game. Make it sub.
I think-
Why do you want to keep the traditional
'Cause there's
gameplay
people
if the
that
traditional
clearly-
gameplay sucks?
No, it doesn't. What the hell?
Right now, Sword
may
and
be
Shield was a bad game.
No,
Sword and Shield was
I
bad.
didn't finish it, but it wasn't bad by any
Yeah,
means.
it was just more of the same. Super easy game.
So in your opinion, you're just stale. You think the main it's stale right now. You feel
No,
like
no.
you need there needs to be a change up.
I think that the traditional Pokemon formula has been going for the last 25 odd years.
Yes.
And I just think that it's time for them to reevaluate what Pokemon looks like and feels like. But that is not a genre switch. That is a mechanical switch.
Gameplay switch.
That is a gameplay switch.
Yeah.
Pokemon at the root of it, it's still a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
And the fighting system is still a turn-based RPG.
So initially, you just want just like what everyone's been asking for 20 plus years is just give me Skyrim where I can run around and then catch Pokemon like dragons or something. That's
it's something similar to that effect, but I think
But just
that
keep the core mechanic of just that turn based.
present them a little differently,
Right.
make them look more exciting, and make them look more like all of the other Pokemon content. Like Pokemon Arceus bridges the gap between the anime and the games a little bit in terms of presentation because you're running around the field, you're catching the Pokemon the way that a Pokemon trainer would. You're
philosophy
fighting.
I believe
Yeah. What'd you say,
that
Tom?
the Pokemon should be able to eat you. And you should
They
be able
They
and you
have
should
to
100%
get an
allow
R-rated Pokemon game.
Can I get Breath of Wild where I can actually kill and cook a Charizard?
So a lot of games don't do that. Like Mario, the 3D games, they're 3D games.
Mm-hmm.
But the philosophy of the 2D games are still there. Like you compare it to Sonic Adventure.
That I guess the DNA of it's still there, but it's still
it's its own thing.
It's like the
Yeah.
core mechanic of Mario Odyssey traces back all the way to Nintendo 64.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, freaking NES days. The philosophy of Mario 3 is always a template for Mario games going forward.
Oh yeah,
They do.
absolutely.
So every 3D game has that template there. It's just in a 3D space.
Yeah. So when
Pokemon can do that to a degree, but it has to have. That's why some people, when Final
Well,
Fantasy 15 came out, it was open world. Final
So
Fantasy game.
what is your issue with Arceus?
No, nothing. I'm just saying it just should be a sub series.
See, I totally disagree.
But it's a virtually the same thing as Sword and Shield.
Yeah, but people won't want that traditional format. That's why
So you're saying that like people are just going to get angry with it.
Yeah, because people like when Final Fantasy 15 came out, people literally was like, and Final Fantasy 7 to a degree. I was one of the people too. Like when Final Fantasy,
you didn't like that. That's a mechanic change though.
Yeah, because it's like,
but like Arceus isn't changing anything with the combat.
It's
just the open world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why
it's literally Arceus is the same thing as Sword and Shield, but the only thing that they changed was like Pokemon can attack you, and then that's virtually it. And then it's open. It's not like there's open areas, kind of like how Mario Odyssey was in Sword and Shield, but now in Arceus it's just all open, which is a lot better because Sword and Shield was stupid about how they region locked some areas. It just seemed kind of like this is kind of dated.
Like Final Fantasy 15, it breaks the traditional.
Yeah, so it's a hack and slash. Like,
yeah, and hardcore Final Fantasy fans or JRPG turn-based fans like.
Well, the reason I think they can do that is just
that's
because
what the games are built on, though.
I know, but the reason they can do that is because Final Fantasy isn't like each Final Fantasy is different.
They're never systems.
Yeah, but they're never like the same story.
This strikes me as like the same argument that we kind of have the same argument that you have when people see traditional Yu-Gi-Oh and they want to go back to traditional Yu-Gi-Oh, but they don't want to grow up into the new Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not the same.
That's not what you're saying, but that's what it sounds like to me. Whenever I hear someone saying like, "Oh, but they're going to miss a traditional thing," it's just like the game's evolving and they need to evolve.
Yeah, but you can have sub-series.
But it doesn't need to be a sub-series.
Yeah, they have pillars. Give people options.
But that being a sub-series and then just not doing the Arceus thing, there's no difference.
I mean, that's why they call it Pokemon Arceus. It's clearly a sub-series. Pokemon Legends.
Honey. It is a mainline release game.
They don't call the mainline Pokemon games Pokemon Legends, blah, blah, blah.
I know, but it is on the release catalog of. It's not Pokemon.
Yes, because they have to release it, but there's still there's clearly a traditional Pokemon game being development right now.
I mean, that may be true, but it's not like it's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
It's not that.
Yeah, it is.
It counts as canon.
Yeah, it could be canon, but it still can be a sub-series.
But it's not a sub-series.
Do you think it's going to be? So you think it's going to be a sub-series?
Yeah, obviously.
So you think they're going to have like Arceus too?
Yeah, or whatever. They're not going to change the traditional Pokemon.
Bryan, you think they're not going to make a? You don't think? You think Arceus is going to be like they're going to have another game release and it's going to be under another name that's not Arceus?
Yeah. I think that so Joe Merrick, the owner of Cerebi, in a reply on Twitter. There's an article here that says that Arceus is a mainline series game. He mentions that Game Freak labeled the game as being official in the Japanese title. So like it is a mainline game. It's not a sub-series. Like, because sub-series indicates that it's not following the main storyline of the games. That it is an entirely different universe, an entirely different thing on its own. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon like that. But Arceus is a mainline release. It follows the series up to this point.
Story-wise, yes. But not in terms of gameplay.
But it doesn't...
It is the same gameplay.
No.
In terms of... It is the core... No, it is the same exact gameplay. It's just presented differently.
It's the same turn-based game.
But it's the exact same.
What's the difference?
It's 3D space. They're not going to do that to the mainline games. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, no. Sword and Shield was 3D space.
No, but it has traditional Pokemon gameplay for combat. Like the way it's turn-based.
So does Arceus.
I don't think you guys get what I'm saying.
I think I understand what you're saying. I just disagree. I entirely disagree because they're not changing the mechanics. They're not introducing a new character. They're not introducing any of this shit that like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon did or like Mario Kart Racing does or like all of the branches of Sonic. This is a main release with the main core gameplay mechanics. They're just being presented differently. And the reason why it's called Pokemon Arceus, in my opinion, or Pokemon Legends Arceus, is because it is a prequel that dictates what happened before in the Diamond and Pearl games. Yeah. But I think that the Pokemon Legends Arceus is just because it's going back in time. I do, however, think that the formula for Arceus will become the standard for Pokemon games in the future. It has gotten too much praise, and it has gotten too much like accolades for switching up the Pokemon formula for Game Freak to go back and do another Sword and Shield type game.
Nah, judging from as being a Sonic fan, the franchise,
it's literally up in the air because Game Freak's a little unpredictable about stuff like this. it's whatever they feel like doing. If it sold well and it got reception well, I mean, they could just build on top of that for a while. I think if they were a bigger studio, they would 100% have.
They are a bigger studio, huge.
Are they a big studio?
Yeah,
I've never felt like they was that big.
Because they only develop Pokemon.
No, there's something else. They did plenty of other games back in the past. They just solely known for Pokemon. But like with Sonic Mania is literally going backwards. And it's the best fucking Sonic game of all time since 2001.
Yeah. But that's because Sonic
And
has had
Sega
such an identity
said,
crisis.
after that, Sega said, no. Even though it's clearly successful, the traditional format, which, by the way, the developer took that traditional format that people would say was boring and improved on it. In terms of level design and gameplay. They can do that with Pokemon. But
They did,
Game Freak's not trying because they're doing a bare minimum because they know it sells. So there's a difference there.
Yeah.
But like abandoning a traditional gameplay, while it was okay, you want to evolve your franchise, but also like there's a point where people want to go back because sometimes going forward too much kind of takes the identity of the game away. That's why Mario's still successful.
Well, if you miss out, if you lose a soul in updating it too much, I mean, it's going to be like a soulless, money hungry, empty world. That's not going to work.
JRPG
and I feel like Sega's
like,
just not like they're definitely not what they used to be, and I don't think that like they're probably in their hands. It's just not going well.
No, it's not.
It's kind of like Konami doing NFTs just because they smell money near it. That's
and Konami firing Hideo Kojima.
Like, look how people didn't like some of the freaking Resident Evil games because they won't like traditional Resident Evil games.
And then they brought out 7, which takes everything about a traditional Resident Evil game and then just sticks it in first person. But the soul is the same. The core mechanics are the same.
Well,
now developers don't understand that. They don't understand that.
Resident Evil, like, it started becoming that what'd you call it earlier, Ned Flanders syndrome, where it started evolving.
The Flanderization of
it started evolving in a bad direction. It was losing its kind of like itself. They were trying to build upon like this new kind of stage of like they're really leaning into the action RPG type and rather that slow horror sense. And essentially it's
not RPG, just action. Action horror.
After 5, it started slowly. It became into an action RPG. Not RPG,
horror.
But an action horror game.
Yeah.
That was totally not what they had built upon and what fans of it just wasn't happy with.
Same with Crisis. Crisis started as an open world shooting game, and it went to more like a Call of Duty-esque type of game. And people was like, I don't like this.
Yeah. So that's evolving into a wrong direction, which Resident Evil made a nice little comeback with. They're like, okay, let's slow it down. And that's the best formula that Resident Evil should stay at is a slow moving pace, low ammo, really like make me panic and really like think like, do I need to waste, my time shooting this thing in the head or should I just ditch?
The thing with this is like nothing wrong with change. It's just developers need to understand like there's a point where you go too far, but it's not a game itself. That's why I say you should do like Nintendo does it perfectly with Mario. That's literally how every developer should do that when they make games trying to be different. Just make pillars. That's so perfectly okay. You still have the main story and like make it main. But in terms of that gameplay style, make that games for that. I mean, the other game traditional way for this. And it's perfectly okay because people want to play the traditional games. And there's also people who want to play the new shit. A lot of people should do Nintendo's format with like how they do with Mario. Because Mario does it perfectly. Like, look at the new Super Mario series. It's still 2D Mario.
No, but Mario isn't a continuing story. It's an anthological story.
I understand that, but I'm talking about gameplay-wise.
Yeah.
You can have, like, look at freaking Kingdom Hearts. It's all in one same fucking story, but every fucking game is different. Some of the games, they have the mainline games and they have all these sub shit.
Yeah,
like
the sub shit kind of does suck though.
Yeah, but
it's bad.
But people like those things. They didn't make the mainline game a fucking rhythm game.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, but because that would be a genre shift. That would be a complete
shift.
No, it's but when you change the genre, you change the gameplay.
Kind of like.
But when you change the gameplay, you don't necessarily change the genre.
No, Persona stay kind of consistent.
No, but Persona Q, there's there's sub branches of like
there's like strikers, there's dance, starlight dancing.
I'm thinking about the main game.
And so like I think that the differentiation here is that sub and mainline games. Sub is like when you want to experiment with put a new something fun for like a franchise that already exists and it's established in its own traditional style. Like Persona 5, you get Persona Q, Dancing in the Labyrinth or whatever. Or Mario Kart or Mario, Super Mario, you get Mario Kart Racer, Mario Kart, stuff like that. But that's for when you're making a completely different genre shift. And so like genre shifts will change the gameplay, but gameplay shifts don't necessarily shift the genre. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So like if you change the gameplay of a game, you're not automatically changing the genre of that game.
But I'm arguing that to the point where they're going to change it too much, where it's not the game itself. That's what happened with freaking Resident Evil and a lot of franchises.
Yeah, and you can evolve, you can do it a lot. But like when after Resident Evil 4 came out, Resident Evil 5 was an action horror game. It was no longer a survival horror. And Resident Evil 4 was not a survival horror. Resident Evil 4 was an action horror game. So there's one point where you can like transition and introduce elements and shift the genre close enough that it doesn't make a huge difference for the gameplay style. But there are some gameplay shifts that constitute a genre shift. But what Pokemon did was a gameplay shift while maintaining the core element of Pokemon, which is what Super Mario did when it went 3D for the first time.
Super Mario in real life.
Yeah.
When you get Mario 64 is the equivalent of Pokemon Arceus is the equivalent of Mario 64 when it comes to like how the gameplay evolved. It's still a 2D game, they just put it in 3D space. So I'm saying that Pokemon Arceus is the evolution of the Pokemon gameplay and not necessarily a division of it.
So are you saying, correct me if I'm wrong, you want the Pokemon games going forward to be Arceus?
Going forward, it makes sense for the Pokemon games going forward to look more like Pokemon Arceus in the traditional games.
So abandon the traditional games format?
Not abandon it, but it's time that the gameplay evolves past that traditional format. To be so constrained as to return back to the overhead isometric format, to be so constrained in that is only a detriment to the franchise. I hear the conversations, public perception of the games were awful by the time Sword and Shield came out because they were absolutely doing the bare minimum back then.
Yeah.
To like just keep the same traditional gameplay. All the games look the same. All the games feel the same. The Pokemon battles were easy.
But they sell.
But they sell because it's a Pokemon game, sure.
Yeah, it's because they're. I mean, their fan base is drones.
No, people. Because the thing is, like us, we're the bare minimum. We don't really matter. It's more.
Well, in generally, Nintendo fans are like kind of like bare minimum about a lot. of stuff.
People like us that complain about stuff like this online or whatever. Who gives a shit for them? They care about the general audience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to make a statement, you got to hit them in the bank.
Yeah.
If it doesn't sell, that means that's
partially
issues.
fucking true. But it's like when it comes to stuff like this, someone out here think that bare minimum game is fucking phenomenal out there.
Yeah, no, and you're right.
A lot of them people are like that.
Yeah.
We're just the minority when it comes to a lot of things like this.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, it's people also aren't as educated on this subject matter than
Not as educated,
are.
they just don't care. They're playing and having fun. That's what matters.
But is it fun? I mean,
yeah, it's fun to them.
Is that the whole general audience?
Yes.
Though?
Yeah, a lot of them like.
So
there's some people that don't like the game. They don't in depth with us like this. But it's people out there like kids who this is their first Pokemon game. This thing's the greatest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
There's some people like hardcore fans like, oh shit, it's bare minimum, but it's like I'd rather have Sonic be 2D all my fucking life and I'd be happy. But I understand that people don't want that.
See, I agree with that to a degree. I do think that people do like the traditional Pokemon gameplay, and I like the traditional Pokemon gameplay too. I just think that the state of the game, as it were, following that traditional gameplay right now is not good. It's not good, and it was getting stale. And like as Pokemon Arceus came out and they released it in a main release game, people are saying that the Pokemon formula does need to change because people are responding to this game way more positively than they did to the last 4 mainline game releases. So I feel like that it makes the natural evolution makes sense. I feel like the praise that Pokemon Arceus is getting is going to influence the decisions for making all the other games look more and feel more like Pokemon Arceus than any of the other mainline games. Because I think we just evolved past, it just needs to evolve past the traditional formula.
That's the thing though. That's another argument. Pokemon is one of the few franchises that keeping the JRPG traditional ways alive. So abandoning that would piss people off.
But it's not abandoning it. It's evolving it.
Name me a good traditional RPG right now other than Pokemon.
What? Traditional RPG? Fucking Final Fantasy?
What?
Any other Final Fantasies?
The modern ones?
Modern Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy not 11.
That is not current right now. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well,
now.
Final Fantasy 7 is a great RPG.
No, I'm talking about traditional turn-based combat. That's what I'm saying.
Turn-based combat? Let me see. their Undertale was phenomenal. Turn-based
Undertale,
combat.
that's
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem's
a chess
phenomenal.
game.
That's not a chess game. It's
strategy RPG.
It's a strategy RPG, but it's still an RPG.
But it's still different from like turn-based games.
There's a lot of granted, they are more on the indie game market, but they are plenty good turn-based RPGs out there. But if we're evolving past turn-based RPGs, maybe there's a fucking reason.
No.
You know, like they're fine games, but maybe like we can do more with the hardware. We can do more now than because turn-based was born out of like hardware limitations.
You like the mechanics in Final Fantasy VII Remake
I love the mechanics
because
of
it's a
Final Fantasy
weird
VII.
hybrid turn-based hack and slash.
Yeah, it's an action RPG.
I think it's a little messy.
And I play it is a little messy, but I play
Final Fantasy VII?
the original Final Fantasy VII.
the combat and everything. I feel like it was
It
kind
was
of
by
like
the auction turn-based game.
yeah, but you could switch it to make it just all turn-based, and I just feel like it's I don't know, it's just a mess. Like
Final Fantasy 15.
pick your lane and
Final
pick your
Fantasy 15 is
artistic
fucking
style
great.
for that,
But
and
it's
then
not
keep it.
It's not a Final Fantasy game by any
It
means.
absolutely
It's
is a
Kingdom
Final
Hearts.
Fantasy. It's a Final Fantasy game.
Name by name wise.
It is a
It's
Final
Kingdom
Fantasy
Hearts.
game with Kingdom Hearts mechanics.
Yes, but it's exactly from a point. It's not
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
No, it is a Final Fantasy game because it's titled Final Fantasy.
Other than aesthetically wise, that's it.
That's a good like mainline game that they. Now I wonder what moving forward the new Final Fantasy that's coming out.
The Final Fantasy 16 is going to be Final Fantasy 16. It's
Yeah.
going to be more like Final Fantasy 7 or 15.
It's gonna be more like 15.
15 where it's, so they're moving away from turn-based and going into hack and
Because
slash.
turn-based was born out of limited hardware.
True.
Turn-based was a mechanic that arose.
You guys love Persona 5, right?
Yeah, Persona 5 is a fantastic turn-based RPG.
Exactly.
That
Persona
was-
4 is the greatest RPG of all time. I fucking
Not-
stand
not-
by that. But
it's
it's like,
great. Not the greatest, but it's
yeah,
great.
Pokemon, not Pokemon, Digimon got inspiration from that. Thank fucking God.
Yeah.
But
Also, Cyber Sleuth, a
Yeah.
fucking amazing
Cyber Sleuth.
turn-based.
Persona
game.
4 Golden is like probably the greatest RPG
Yeah, I agree.
gameplay wise, and that's
Shin
taking the
Megami-
traditional format and evolving it.
Shin Megami Tensei, and that's
I think there will
totally
always be
perfect.
an audience for turn-based
Yeah.
because there's some people just want to have a more concise like battle versus than hacking slash
Yeah.
because it's kind of gets monotonous if you're just trying over and over and over. Sometimes people want to have a chess match.
Yeah, people are like, oh, I'm so boring. Like, fuck off.
I don't think
wanna
that
push buttons
genre.
all the time.
I don't think that genre is ever going to go away. Now, don't get me wrong. There's different franchises like Final Fantasy. They're going to
the
kind
Tales
of.
franchise. A lot of them are.
They're going
turn-based
to.
RPG.
They can try something new. That's all up in them. But that I don't think it's ever going.
I'm
going
not
away.
saying I want to like. I don't saying I want them to completely abandon the traditional Pokemon franchise. Like if you like do 3 releases or 2 releases,
Can we
then bring it
wait?
back.
Can we just side note here? Final Fantasy 15's open world was fucking cool.
That's phenomenal.
That is a really good open world.
Final Fantasy 15 is a great game.
Also, I want to actually. I do want to
Story-wise,
bring
it was
up.
garbage.
The story wasn't great, but
Story is fun.
You
It's
tell
a
me you
very
didn't get
classic story.
depressed at the end.
The
I got
ending-
hella
It's
depressed at
great,
the
but
end of that.
the story is
Dude,
really fucking.
Igneous and everybody. Oh my god,
when he
dude!
went blind, I cried
The
a
chemistry
little bit.
between the 4 is fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everything around that shit's stupid and sucks.
It's super.
not-
Well, it's not.
It's just basic.
It's not for
It ain't
us.
basic. It's very confusing. Like, what the fuck is going on?
because it's a Japanese manga.
I don't understand the
story.
main villain's goal here. What did he want? The kingdom?
Dude, it's Japanese. It's not for us. It's not American. It's not like American Johnny up there.
But it's a game.
Because
I
like
the game, but it's
Japanese stories like that are always convoluted and confusing, and there's angels and demons, and there's some bullshit going on in the background. And my dad died, and my dog is transcended into God.
And now I'm killing God.
We gotta kill God. I was stopping a pedophile. Now I gotta kill God. That's JRPGs
When I was
at
playing
its
Final Fantasy
finest.
15, I was literally playing because it was simply fun. I have no idea what it's.
Yeah,
fucking
and a lot of games are just fun. It's
Yeah.
just fun to play, and then you just say fuck all to the story.
No,
So
what-
Final
no,
Fantasy-
and here we can loop back around.
But
My-
cut you off
my-
real quick. No,
what?
that's not true at Final Fantasy. People actually play Final Fantasy games for the story too. They're known for their story games.
I do play it for the story.
Yeah,
a
so-
lot.
But I'm saying like a lot of JRPG games are so confusing. Well, a lot of like stuff like that. If it can have a great gameplay, but just a garbage story. And now let me sidetrack into Horizon Zero Dawn. Awful, boring, fucking. Well, not.
It's an Assassin's Creed story.
It's super. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like
god.
super
I think-
generic, fucking goal-based story.
but holy shit, just the world that it's created and then the mechanics of it, amazing. I love it.
I love chopping enemies down with a rope thing. That's so fucking
Dude,
cool.
a fucking
You see them struggling
doing
to get
traps, doing it's stealth, but then you can get into like it's like a good mixture between stealth and then hack and slash
action.
out.
almost.
Like Ghost of Tsushima. not a great story.
No.
It's not a
boring.
great
But it's
not
the
bad, but it's just
But the
boring
story
as fuck.
service.
but a gameplay can carry you.
Gameplay's
through
like carrying that game.
and that's why gameplay is such a strong mechanic because it can carry you through an entire game with a shit story. But a good story can't carry you through a shit gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I kind of like. I'm sorry, but when people are like, I want story in Sonic games, fuck off.
What the hell is his story like? Dude, his story could be like, or Donkey Kong or anything. Like, it could be a monkey, it could be like a banana at the end of the game,
Dude,
or it could be a hot dog. It's kind of like Mario's story. Like, what the fuck is even going on with
Mario games have a story.
Shut the fuck up. Like,
But
okay, the princess gets stolen.
that's a story.
And then they gotta subvert it in the next game into some other weird thing. It's not a good story at all. But that's like one of the things that you couldn't even evolve Mario's story because it's so fucking stupid.
If you try to evolve a Mario story, you break it. If you try to evolve a Sonic story, you break it.
But the RPG games have a story. They're the one that actually do story games.
RPGs do have a story.
Yeah.
But you just pretty much you have to ignore it. You have
No,
to ignore
The
the
Mario
whole thing.
RPGs? Mario RPG actually have a story. Paper Mario?
Yeah. No, but RPGs in general, like role-playing games, it just demands a certain type of engagement from the player to get the story out of it, the full 100%. You know, like I can play Dark Souls, and Dark Souls has an amazing story.
Is it?
Well, the Dark Souls has an amazing story, an amazing environment and world built around it.
Lore.
But you can't get it
I think
traditionally.
I think Dark Souls story is a little. It's again one of those Japanese things where it's like it's a little.
but
It's
so
not
interesting.
accessible.
I don't think it really
It's a lot of pain in the ass to get a fucking story out of that game. And really and I say that is because you have to go to YouTube and that one guy the
Body
YouTuber,
Vidya.
yeah. That's how people. I mean,
Shout out to you, Body Vidya.
he makes such a good career on YouTube because that story is so hard,
Convoluted.
Yeah, and he just goes through and listen. A game story shouldn't probably be like that, but the world and environment in Dark Souls, which is my dilemma with Dark Souls, is like I love that world. I love getting lost in it. It's just fucking really cool, and with the knights and everything, and just how gritty it is. It's almost like playing like I'm in Berserk constantly. Yeah. I love that.
So the story from Dark Souls exists only to give you a loose goal.
You almost fill in the blanks with your own canon.
Yeah, because it's an RPG. At its
you really
finest.
do role play, but you have your own story in your head.
Yeah.
Well, I think they don't really have a story just based around lore around it. Similar to audio logs in games.
They have a story that has a very vague beginning and a very vague end. Like they have the Lords of Cinder that destroyed the world to light the spark of humanity. And then they have all the situation about how you lose your humanity and then you rise back as a hollow in Dark Souls 2. And then in Dark Souls 3, you're just a corpse and you get embered by the fire. They have all of those elements in there, but they're very hidden because the goal of Dark Souls is not to tell a story. The goal of Dark Souls is to just give you really fun gameplay. The story is just there to tie everything loosely together. It's kind of like Nier Automata. The gameplay for Nier Automata is a pretty basic hack and slash, but people really enjoy the sort of graphic novel elements that are into the story of Nier Automata.
I think you got that really mixed up. Even though I didn't play the game, I think that's wrong.
Yeah. No, Nier Automata is a basic hack and slash. The gameplay is press this button, press that button, and then press
it has similar mechanics to Devil May Cry, right? Or it's just
very similar to
super
Devil May Cry.
Japanese,
Yeah, it's a hack and slash. Devil May Cry is another one that's a very good combination of gameplay and story, because the gameplay for Devil May Cry and the story for Devil May Cry are not intrinsically linked, but they fulfill the whole experience together. You know what I'm saying? Story and gameplay are not linked in a lot of games. Dark Souls, the story and the gameplay are very linked together.
You know what I love about open worlds?
What?
Is when they go and do the world moves without you. If you left that world, the game and the world would still continue to move on forward. Those are really nice. Where there's events that happen that you didn't have any control over it. Let's say that let's say for example in Horizon, if a Thunderjaw and a Behemoth just ran into each other, they would immediately start fighting.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is really
Monster
awesome.
World do that?
That's called systemic world building. That's what that's called. It's when you have two elements in your game that interact and are independent of each other, but they can interact with each other.
Yeah, Sifu actually had that because I remember I knocked there's a part in the second level where you knock a guy into a fighting ring, and if you don't do anything, the two NPCs will just start dogging it out.
Yeah.
What I don't like about open world games, I don't like being overwhelmed. That's why I like.
That's true.
Did you ever play Assassin's Creed, the Egyptian one? I can't remember the name of it.
No, but it caught my eye, but I just never got to it.
Dude, I started that game up, and usually I'm a person that I almost completionist side quests like that. I love doing side quests. That game here's an issue. There's a right and a wrong way to do side quests. When you're filling the world up and you don't really get anything fulfilled other than literally nothing, you get like a little bit of.
It's like numbers on a menu.
Yeah, when you don't really, there's not like a little pocket story in it or anything like that. It's not daunting. It's just boring, and you're like, I don't. Because that's my problem with Assassin's Creed. What is the name of that game?
Odyssey.
No, it's not Odyssey.
Unity?
Origins.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Origins. There was this, and Assassin's Creed's known for that, just filling out the world with just.
The one after that, they just making you do shit just for the sake of it.
Well, that's how Origins was. It was just, for a lot of it, was just the sake of doing stuff.
And the one we talk, what is it? Odyssey's what's the one?
Odyssey
That's
is
the Roman.
So that one was to the point where that's the peak where you should not go to.
Yeah.
It was too goddamn big. It's making you do shit where you shouldn't be doing. Just what is this?
They made it they made the games the sake for just being big.
So they kind of toned it down after that release. But I think Breath of the Wild, Horizon, and especially Ghost of Tsushima does it. And from Second Son, which is how I want my open world games in terms of side missions and main story.
No, I tell you
Second Son slapped.
Huh?
Second Son slapped.
Fuck yeah, it does. I love that fucking game. But it's like I don't want to feel like I gotta do this to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I just want to make it be open world. I got to go over there and do this.
Yeah.
There's a difference between doing something instead of
here, Witcher 3 is a great example for side quests.
See, I was afraid of that game. I didn't want to go to the game because I think it would be overwhelming as fuck.
Witcher 3 is a great example for side questing.
Side questing in that game is meaningful as all hell.
Yeah.
You get great items at the end of it. You get a delightful story. You get a ton of lore, and it brings you into interesting locations. And when you're exploring in that world,
the Cyberpunk
you just suddenly come across something.
Not to the same degree.
You just randomly get attacked, right?
Yeah.
And then from getting attacked from something like that, you randomly stumble into some side mission. You walk
and it sneaks you into it. And it's like just like, oh shit, I got attacked by this guy, but then there's like a dead body here. Because he also got attacked.
Right.
Check out the dead body.
And then you start looking into, now you're in a mystery.
Now
you're like, what's going on?
How the fuck did I get here?
Yeah. And then you were trying to do the main mission, and then now you're doing something else. Or someone was getting robbed, and you stop them, but that guy's a part of some secret cult that was trying to kill him. And then you're often on when a side quest can do that, and you get wrapped up in doing a side quest, that's the best way to do side quests.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has good side. Well, did it have side quests?
Spider-Man had
I feel like Spider-Man had like.
See, that's how I like my open
Spider-Man just had. That's how I like my open world games too.
Yeah.
Spider-Man had a great main story, and I could just fuck around in the world. That is like kind of like my ideal open world, especially for a character like Spider-Man.
God, that game is so fun.
But if you compare like Spider-Man to like Witcher with side quests,
absolutely falls short.
It's like there's no impact. Like Witcher had amazing impact. Also, like the impact in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah,
those
side quests were really good.
Side quests were really fascinating.
Yeah,
because you could go just completely like, what the fuck is going on in this story?
I would say this though to developers: if I can platinum your open world game, you did a good job.
So if I can platinum it,
yeah, I did it for Spider-Man, Infamous, and something else.
Dude, I did it. I got every. I played Spider-Man the original, played Miles Morales, and then lost my copy of the original Spider-Man. So I bought the DLC version, and I played all through the story and all the DLC in like 3 days.
Yeah,
that's a good game
for Miles Morales, or
no, for the original Spider-Man, PS4.
That's what exactly. I want mine to be enough game.
Yeah,
but not to the point where I'm like, I feel exhausted.
You shouldn't. No side quest should feel like a chore. You should feel like you're getting more out of the story by doing a side quest.
But that also hits and this is the more fascinating thing about game design for me. It's like, who are you making your game for? Mm-hmm. You know, like Spider-Man is clearly made for people like me and Tay, who just want a really solid Spider-Man story with some really fun gameplay.
It just happens to be open world.
It just happens to be open world. But there are people that are into like D&D, that are into this like extremely constructed fantasy worlds that Dark Souls storytelling fits perfect, or The Witcher 3 fits perfect.
You know, really, a weird game that I got wrapped up into was Metal Gear Solid 5. With, there was audio logs you could find, and I got really into doing there was a Prez, and there was like a whole. You could really unlock a lot of. I think Kojima does really good. He has such a
He had nothing to do with that game.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah,
Metal Gear
you're
Solid
right.
5. He didn't have anything to do with.
I never got into the audio logs or shit ever. You guys ever sat down and listened to them?
I listen to them. I listen to them while I'm like playing the game.
When I get intrigued,
when I catch them,
when I really want to get into the story. So Resident Evil 3 or in Resident Evil 2, I like a lot of those. Like they kind of. You have to read a lot of stuff to figure out where, like, because like there's such a limitation on like ammo and attachments for your weapons and stuff that you have to scour every little thing so you can figure out a
solid game plan.
A game plan, or you can figure out like, oh, there's a safe here.
Oh, gotcha.
But like I need to find a combination. So you have to score through like a bunch of notes and stuff, and through doing that, you get a ton of the story. By reading a lot of stuff. Yeah. The way they implicated that stuff was really implemented.
Hey, Bryan, because you know it's funny we mentioned like the gameplay style thing.
Yeah.
It's so funny because there's a very, very small vocal community in God of War community.
Really?
They want the traditional God of War style.
They're so wrong.
But they're very small.
Yeah. But
you see them every so often. And they don't like, it's so weird. They don't like the new one.
Yeah.
Because it's not
but
that
that's if I saw someone say, I want Sword and Shield back.
Yeah.
I want that type of gameplay. I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But it's larger than God of War still. That's the thing.
It's it is larger than, but God of War was such an experience, was such an art project. Like it was a game.
That's the best.
But it's an art project. Like God of War is a movie. What were you going to say?
Don't say that. That's an insult to me.
No, God of War is a phenomenal.
It's a masterpiece.
If you took,
it's a masterpiece.
I agree with you though. God of War is because it was the combat at some times got a little tedious.
No.
Because there were some enemies that were just sponges.
They charge at you and shit.
Well, they were just sponges. Like I felt like I was doing an unreasonable amount of damage to them, even with a good build. But those encounters were like so limited. I had a great time with God of War. God of War was phenomenal.
That's how you should make a video game.
It's really...
They understood their assignment.
Yeah.
Fucking game.
It had a philosophy. It had a story to tell. Been on TikTok a little too long.
I understood the assignment.
Bro, you should watch a documentary for making that game. It's so fun.
I've watched them. They're fantastic.
Thank God, I can't wait for the sequel. That's my most hyped game for this year.
Yeah, that and Spider-Man 2.
I think, God of War 2 is probably like going to be one of the most hyped.
Yeah.
Like, probably really most anticipated. I wouldn't say hyped. I don't want to say hyped because ever since Cyberpunk, I've kind of been like scared of that word a little bit.
Nah, I trust these developers on
it. Here's the thing Cyberpunk released.
Did Corey have any hand in developing this one or no?
No, someone else.
Yeah.
Someone else got the notes though. But
nice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. Don't cross your fingers.
Dude, watch this game suck. That'd be dude, I think they'd burn down Sony. They'd burn it down. And this game sucks.
I hate how the Last of Us 2 thing kind of shifted people's view on Naughty Dog.
The Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
Bunch of sexist pricks.
That's a fantastic fucking game,
dude.
Too. Last of Us 2 stand by that. I put my foot in there for that.
It's, in my opinion, a perfect zombie game. Last of Us and The Last of Us 2.
It's really not even like a zombie game. Yes. It's more of a human on human in a zombie world.
Well, the second,
and that's a lot of zombie games that have evolved into that kind of format. Yeah. It's more
because it's more interesting than fighting fucking zombies.
Yeah. I'm being a Sony fanboy right now, but God, they set a standard for games,
dude. I totally agree. Sony has gotten the best storytelling out of recent. I've been playing Gears of War. I played Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5 on my free time. They suck.
I just played Part 2. It was fun.
They fucking like Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic.
Dude, I played through 2.
So you're a huge fan of
Dude, me too. I played it like 7 times.
I rented that when I was a thing.
You rented it? Dude, that was my first game on Xbox Live.
Yeah, dude, I played it with all of my friends. I beat the campaign like 4 times.
Yeah, dude. Can we go back to roots?
Yeah.
Can we get back doing co-op campaign roots?
No.
I want it back. That's because you don't like to have fun with us, Ted.
You really don't like having fun, man.
Cool. I want to sit on my couch and play single player games.
Sad. That's sad, man.
Do you know how much fun I had playing Mario Odyssey by myself?
No, yeah, but some games don't need it.
So everybody play this online shit. Like, fuck you.
Dude, I
guys.
played
I'm
Mario
having fun.
Odyssey with Adriana, and I had the time of my life playing it.
I could not get into Mario Odyssey, man.
Bugs
I
me.
couldn't get into it.
I remember this conversation. It was so
I
true.
fucking hated it.
Why?
What
about
Hate
it?
and Odyssey does not work together.
Dude,
Like two magnets.
Yeah.
completely acknowledge that it is a great microcosm of
just not your
gameplay.
but
for
it just
somebody.
let's say this is not. And
But
really, every game, and this is like what we can, and this is what I think it all culminates into. Not every game's going to be for everybody.
That's true. That's
and
true.
we have to like realize that a game not necessarily could be bad. It's just not for
you.
That's what.
And
So
maybe
that's
it
why-
just doesn't click.
That's why I say people need to get rid of that. It's bad. It just say it's not for you. It's
People's
okay.
gonna have to put I didn't like it.
But there are things.
People will say-
no, but there are things that are objectively bad.
Okay, no, then that's fair
Like
because they're
Cyberpunk 2077 was an objectively bad experience at launch. There's no way that you can justify it at launch. It was bad.
I played 100 hours.
Dude, I know, me too. I played fucking
So,
70 hours. of that
I
game.
could say
and I
that,
loved it.
there is a good game there. There was just some bugs.
They-
I
game
loved
broke
it,
me.
but it was bad.
I was so disappointed, dude.
You really had to like some games have like
You
hard.
have to play it with the same energy that
No.
you play Skyrim.
No, it's like,
Or like any
okay, so
Bethesda
there's a
game.
learning curve with Dark Souls.
Yeah,
There's a learning curve with like Sifu.
yeah.
There was a threshold you have to pass. They're like, I have to withstand. I had to mentally have to be like, okay, the game crashed again today.
Yeah.
I was like, you have to understand that when you play that game, it was going to crash once.
That's not great.
I played Cyberpunk 2077 with the same energy that I play any Bethesda title. It's like this
the
is gonna.
hell.
That is not a good mentality.
It's
though.
not good. It's not good. But I agree. Objectively bad experience. It is broken and had a bunch of glitches and had a graphical blitz.
Speaking of it though, it just got a next gen update and you can play it for free now.
Yeah, 5 hours for free, so you can try it.
So, that's right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm assuming they feel confident that they fixed a lot.
They-
of
I heard it's still issues, but it's bare minimum.
Yeah, and they probably did. Again, objectively, awful experience.
Yeah.
I had a great fucking time playing Cyberpunk 2077. I was fucking
Dude,
driving through shit. I was.
It turned me
getting-
off.
Yeah.
I remember Ethan saw me playing live. I was literally on Twitch streaming live. Like I can't progress because this mission just locked away.
Yeah.
It was glitched away, and I restarted the game. They not let me do
It
it.
was wild. No, I get it. I also was lucky that I didn't run into any game breaking bugs.
We
I
played
had,
on
I had
PC
a
though,
couple.
right?
I had a couple ones where there was a few side missions I couldn't do.
Yeah, mine were all just graphical bugs in my experience. Anyway, but there are things that are objectively bad.
That's so disheartening.
Yeah. Like there are things that are objectively not good.
Yeah.
But the experience that you get from things that are objectively not good may vary because it caught you at a good time.
See, I hate this
know?
argument because Sonic fans did it for Sonic 06. They praised the shit out of this game.
Objectively bad game.
Very fucking awful
Objectively
game.
bad
Stop
game.
liking this game.
You cannot look at Sonic 06 and tell me that it is in any
That has to be like a syndrome, right? Where a game is so
it's like
old.
Stockholm syndrome.
No, yes. You talking about when something's so old they come back and praise it?
Right. That's
hate
got it.
that
That's
shit.
100% a syndrome because
been
people
country or
definitely do
whatever.
that.
Yeah, people do it all the time with a lot of things.
That's because they want to go counterculture. Like they say, is like, or they just want to go against what is being said for
Go
kind of
against
like
the
a little
grain.
bit of clout.
Maybe this is actually good. No, it wasn't. It was a bad then. It's bad now.
Yeah,
That's
it's
my mentality. of things.
Horror. Things. Here's my mentality. I have a little
Oh, like
bit
that, Uncharted 2 or Uncharted 1.
No, that's a great game.
No,
Yeah, dude, all the Uncharted games are great.
I swear to God, go back and play
I
that.
fucking
did.
I
play
fucking
that.
did.
Fucking.
I did.
What the jet ski level?
Yeah.
Play that again and tell me that
did.
game's good.
I did it
That
back
game
then.
is garbage. Dude, I almost stopped playing because of that one level.
Oh my god, it's not.
I swear to God,
Fuck it.
I was on the verge of.
I respect it. You're wrong.
What game? Wait, which one is it? Is it 1 or 2? That's
I think
in?
it's.
Two is considered the best in the franchise.
I think it's 1.
Then it's 1. Yeah.
One. The only thing about 1 that I have trouble with going back to it is the graphics are getting a little rough.
It's rough there.
And some of the shooting mechanics are a bit janky. And
Stories
that's it.
luster.
No,
story
story
wasn't
was
that great.
Story's great, man.
Just
That-
2000
was Uncharted-
early 2000s like action
2007.
flick.
Get it right.
But
No,
it did,
early 2000s action flick is what the
That's what the Uncharted is for. It's like a cinematic experience.
right.
but it
boring.
did it. It did that story right. It was like it's like a modern Indiana Jones. It
Yeah,
did
that's
it
what
right.
it is, yeah.
And then Uncharted 2 improved on the
So
story,
fucking
on the gameplay, on the graphics. Uncharted 3 again improved on the gameplay and the graphics.
I hated the monkeys in 3.
remember
That's
the monkeys.
the ass.
Dude,
And then Uncharted 4, maybe a little bit of a downgrade in terms of gameplay.
No,
No,
what the
no,
fuck?
no.
Stop
So
it.
four is the
Relax.
best. Four is easily the best in the series.
In terms of gameplay wise and how
In terms of story,
Story and
I
gameplay
think
wise, it's the best out of all of them.
Uncharted 4 for me felt
I like the contrast with this is because you played it since like it was on like the first
PS3.
PlayStation or PS. Is it PS2 or PS3?
I played Uncharted 1, so it was on PS3.
2007.
Okay.
I kept up with Uncharted until it came out on PS4.
You don't remember the Uncharted 2 and 3 marketing everywhere?
I remember
Yeah, it was
that.
great.
Yeah. But I played this like just like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I like this. There's a different contrast between. I can tell you, like the old games are not as good as what people now. Because some people are coming off in nostalgia. No, don't get me wrong. Uncharted 2 is okay. It was better than the first one, but the first one wasn't too much.
Uncharted 2 is
The games does not age amazingly.
That's why they remastered them. They great. They
4
still
was
Crockett.
easily the best one.
Crockett. 4 is good. The
Yeah.
best one is 2.
Nah,
The best one is 2.
hard to say.
I had the most fun with 2, but I think 3 is the better game. I mean, 4 is the better game.
Yeah.
I can agree with agree with that. The only reason I don't like 4 is the story with the brother was kind of annoying and tedious
Same.
to me, and I felt like the baddie didn't have a.
True.
What
Yeah.
were you? What
I
were
think-
you going for?
I think they always go for that's Uncharted in general is like just what greed will do to.
Yeah.
Me and Tim
that
Uncharted
makes sense.
1's about second act shocked you with his like fucking mutants coming at you now.
That was a fucking trip.
I was like, this is a little weird. I was like, what the fuck? It's like,
it.
Then Uncharted 2, you
well,
fight
they
this
kind of went that.
immortal guy.
They went the
It's
Tomb
Indiana
Raider
Jones.
route
Yeah.
where there's like, oh, it's mystical now.
No, it's Indiana Jones.
But like in 3, that was like a whole like, oh no, you were
3D
just
mature.
you were just imagining things.
See, Uncharted is how I like my video games.
Yeah, same.
If I can play video games like all my life, I'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's a single player, like tight experience, and I'm perfectly fucking fine with that.
yeah. That's why God of War is so good. That's why
Yeah.
Spider-Man is so good. That's
Last of
why
Us.
Last of Us is so good. Last of Us 2 is, in my opinion, one of the best games I've ever
I've
played.
always said this. If I was going to go to prison, dude, give me Witcher 3 just to play for the rest of my days.
Skyrim.
And then give
Fucking
me.
hate Skyrim.
I always said Metal Gear Solid 5 because I feel like I just never would complete that game.
Yeah.
I
It
think-
would just be something always going on in it. I think some of the mechanics, the mechanics in Metal Gear Solid 5 are the best mechanics ever in like a shooter, like amazingly. Well, all right, name me a better mechanics.
I love it.
For a shooter?
Yeah,
For a third-person shooter or a third-person
just get
stealth?
any shooter, man.
No, what you say? For a third-person shooter?
Dude, just for a shooter in general, like the mechanics for that game is amazing. They're so intricate.
The gameplay, the gunplay, every gun feels the same to me.
No,
Isn't that what a lot of games do? No, kind of, I guess.
yeah.
Well, in terms of like
Shooters,
effectiveness, like if like a handgun is good for one thing, rifle is good for the other, semi-automatic is good for the like different types of encounter. I feel like if your gun can just take care of any encounter, then
Bullet works
they
all
feel
the
the same.
same.
What I don't
Coming
like
out
is,
any
like-
barrel, really.
Like, snipers does not work in a third-person game, personally.
no, it has to be very specific.
Oh, I hate that. Like when it's over the shoulder and then they do the scope and
Yeah.
it's no.
It doesn't work.
It goes into first.
It's
person.
kind of like a GTA using a sniper rifle.
Yeah,
It
that's
feels
exactly.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, I see people using snipers in Call of Duty. Like, it does not work. Because the games are so goddamn tight.
Yeah.
And you can't, it's not a game that meant to be in one spot. And
and like
Shoot.
launched.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really weird that they have to add
It's
snipers,
options,
but
yeah.
it like the 360 no scope is synopsis with like
they're still popular nowadays. Can you even still do that?
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know how anyone ever did. I could never
I
pull
did
that
it for
off.
Really?
I did it one time by accident.
People was mad when Black Ops took the option away. People had to like kind of like slightly improve.
They slowed it. I remember
Yeah,
they
slowed
slowing it down so you couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, but God, the intervention in Modern Warfare 2.
Do you remember the audio when you ranked up was dude, every time they play that
Yeah.
audio that sends me back like 10 years
It's the
back.
fucking like it's on the walkie. It's like
There hasn't been no
No,
game.
there's the walking one, and then there's a the scream, which I have no idea where that even. And then it goes,
hasn't-
and then it had the guitar riff and everything. Why the fuck did we take that out of video games? That
There
was
hasn't-
I love those audio cues.
There hasn't been a multiplayer game as an event like that with Modern Warfare 2. That game
No,
was
yeah.
that game had a
changed a lot of
a
things.
vice grip
Yeah,
on
multiple.
dude. All right,
changed a lot
the
of
best
franchises
multiplayer
going
games
forward.
to ever come
5
out.
minutes, by the way.
the best multiplayer games to ever come out.
Yeah.
Call of Duty 2,
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2,
Gears of War 2,
Gears of War 2,
Halo 3.
Halo 3.
You cannot dispute these fucking multiplayer games.
Nah. Yeah,
There's never been any. I've never played a game that was better multiplayer wise. Never played a game that was better than those.
multiplayer wise.
Bad Company 2 whoops all the asses.
Which one?
Bad Company 2.
Fuck,
Dude.
yes.
Okay.
That's the best multiplayer experience I ever had in my life.
I will say, those 3 games that Crockett said plus Bad Company 2. Those are in the same list for me.
I'm saying that they're better in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know, but I get you.
Battlefield Company 2 wins over Call of Duty for me, but not over Halo 3. Halo 3 is just fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect multiplayer
Dude, Bad Company
experience.
2 took my life away in the summers.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, when they
that
got
game was so
Battlefield-
much fucking fun.
Yeah, it's so fucking
Well, Battlefield 3, I think is probably one of the best.
No,
like,
nah.
Bad Company 2.
it's Battlefield 3's under the Battlefield, but I think Battlefield 3 took all the good things about 2 and then just implicated into, because like half the DLC maps were all just from Bad Company 2 and 3.
Battlefield.
You just got an updated Battlefield.
Battlefield 3 was when they stopped making the buildings explode on contact.
Yeah, they went downgrade and they still do that. I fucking hate that.
The Frostbite 2.0 engine was a downgrade in my opinion.
Dude, like, and audio wise too. But like Battlefield, that's when I first experienced the difference between console and PC. Battlefield, the Bad Company series were meant for consoles.
Yeah, that's true.
Battlefield 3, 4 are meant for PC, and I felt the difference on. Like I remember playing that on 360. Like this isn't the PC game I saw on YouTube, the high HD graphics and shit, and clearly gameplay wise too.
I think Battlefield, in my opinion, took a nosedive the moment they took away environmental destruction.
Yeah. It's still there, but it's not as great.
It's not to the same degree as it was in fucking Bad Company 2.
Are you going to that building? Claymore.
Yeah. Bad Company 2, you can blow the shit out of a building, kill 5
I will
people
say
in
though,
it.
I missed the muffled sound when something like blows up.
Yeah,
You
it's
hear
great.
shit. And like,
Sound
do
design
you
was
remember when you were a
phenomenal.
sniper and you could call in that airstrike?
Yeah, anytime
This
you want, the
level
motor.
of fucking building. I will say though, those games, the multiplayer matches always ended with just there was no buildings left. That was kind of like an issue. Was like okay, towards the end of the game, there's no cover.
I
Real war,
remember
baby.
The back in the thing was like, in Call of Duty, you had to earn the kill streak. In Battlefield, I am the kill streak. I am the kill streak. You want a tank? Go get it.
Dude,
That's
I remember
awesome.
those like ending matches like 53 kills or something,
yeah.
just insane stuff. Just like unlimited tickets were crazy.
I know.
back in the
I
day.
hate that change. The custom servers. I don't like that at all.
You never liked the custom server?
I had like 4-hour matches on fucking
Yeah,
Battlefield
dude.
3.
Yeah, you instead of playing
Conquest.
one session, man,
And
I never have to left the game. I could have got 1,000 kills and been all right.
But you leave the game, you lose all the experience. So it's like,
That's
I'm
true.
stuck here playing this 4-hour long match.
Yeah, no, that's insane. I don't like the custom servers either. I will say I like Call of Duty Black Ops 2
Ugh.
because of never touched the campaign.
No.
I only touched the multiplayer.
If I
it's-
knife, I kill Jordan from right here. That game is terrible.
Black Ops 2 hit a spot that I was missing from like Modern Warfare 2. It's like very tight, jumpy controls and like very snappy gameplay.
See, I never got why people are so fond of Black Ops 2. When I played the game, I was never
Sorry,
like
not Black
blown
Ops
away.
2, Cold War. I'm talking about Cold War, the last one that came out.
Oh, Cold War.
Yeah, Cold War.
Really?
Cold War.
What is Cold War?
It's the one it's in the 1960s. It's the one that came out.
You didn't play the
after-
story for that?
No,
It was actually pretty good.
I have to play it, but I just haven't because every time I launch it, I just go back into the multiplayer.
I remember I brought, what is it, Advanced Warfare? It's simply for Kevin Spacey. Before all this shit
Advanced
happened.
Warfare, yeah.
Yeah.
I bought that game too. I fucking hated
It's
it.
not
The
good.
multiplayer was I got a little fun out of it, but it wore on me so quickly.
I'm like one of the few people on this planet that really like the Advanced Warfare because I was so bored with just running around and not.
Yeah, you were
I
just
think
fucking
I
jumping.
loved having those fucking anime moments where I could jump 4 feet and I was like, dude, and just shooting everyone down.
See,
That's what Titanfall was good for.
it goes
And
back-
that's what I was itching for. I was in Titanfall and Advanced Warfare would definitely that time and space for me. That's what I was hungry for.
What he just said is kind of what we go back for beginning what we were talking about in the video, like how they Call of Duty had to change,
Yeah,
and they tried to do something and just did not click.
did not work.
And this is
good.
when people were like, we need to change Call of Duty, and they did it. They tried at least 2 times.
Well, they need to change. I think they just like but see, I honestly was happy with that change. But people just want to go boots on the ground. But when they got boots on the ground, they were like, I think Call of Duty. I think people realize is like, oh, Call of Duty is kind of just getting stale.
But look at the current games; they're still the same Call of Duty I played back in the day, just more shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's my biggest gripe with the Call of Duty franchise is that it didn't have to be a yearly thing.
No, and I think
Give us 4 or 5 years between Call of Duty titles.
That's too damn long for Call of Duty.
Well,
They might will now.
Is
make it good. Just like
Very.
make them because we multiplayer from Call of Duty Modern Warfare to Modern
give me
Warfare 2, there were like 2 or 3 years.
just subvert my fucking like game every 4 years.
Okay,
like
Ryan
that's all you need to
Johnson.
do.
But what'd you say?
Okay, Ryan Johnson.
Rian.
Subvert my
But
expectations.
I'm trying to subvert your
dude, best Star Wars
Shut
movie.
the fuck
Dude, I've been
up.
a
No,
Star
it's
Wars
not.
movie lately.
Yeah.
Fucking love
Movie.
it.
Dorks.
Check this shit out.
Fucking dorky ass
The
movie.
Last Jedi, best Star Wars.
Actually,
movie.
all of the new Star Wars suck.
Mando's my fucking goat. I fucking love
I
Mando.
still need to watch a Boba Fett.
It's mid. Don't
Boba Fett is Boba Fett is.
But people keep
Mando-
talking. I want to see. There was a conversation about like Kamen Rider fan. Like, if someone if the Star Wars
tweeted
fan
this.
watch a 1 minute Kamen Rider, they would die on the spot.
Dude, fucking, I've been getting a lot of Kamen Rider content on TikTok.
Yeah,
That show looks so
Oh,
fucking
you
good.
sent me the
dude, have you ever watched like a storyline and it is
Insane. I bet
the
it's
worst
insane.
thing possibly ever made.
Insane.
But
They're just like live action anime, dude.
Yeah,
dude, it's
fucking
Monster
crazy.
of the Week. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, yeah,
It's
I
just
love it.
candy.
I love it. Anyway,
Really
we're
dope.
about to wrap it up.
yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Shinigami's like a crossover.
With
I can't wait for that merch.
the
I'm gonna eat it
Evangelion.
up.
Dude, I really thought that we were gonna get like some Eva Shin Godzilla, like fucking Eva 1.
What the
fighting
hell is
Shin
Kamen Rider gonna
Godzilla.
do in that lineup? With Eva,
Punch Godzilla
Unit
in the
1,
face.
Godzilla,
Gonna
and
punch Godzilla
it was
in the
Ultraman, Godzilla, and
Kamen Rider and Evangelion.
yeah.
Unit
And then there's
01.
Kamen Rider. I'm like, what the fuck was he gonna do?
Dude, it breaks my heart Gamera's not there. Come on. I don't know. I forgot the company's name, but they just not doing anything.
Yeah, wasn't Kamen Rider like a
Who?
Kamen Rider? Wasn't he what the fuck? A kaiju show at first?
No,
Or was it
they
always
all,
been
they all
Tokusatsu?
Toku. Yeah, they all Toku
yeah.
related. Yeah.
Cool.
Not
Alright.
well. It's inspired by Toku. What's that show? Neon. What,
Neon
Evangelion?
Genesis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mech anime or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it mech anime?
Yeah.
It follows the structure of a mechanic.
I mean, it has mechs. What do you mean?
It's so mid.
They're organic though.
Yeah, they're cyborgs.
They're cyborgs.
Yeah, organic material. But you don't know that at the beginning.
Yes,
That's
you
where-
do.
From the very beginning, you do. They show you a shot of it. Eva 101's fucking.
I remember
eye.
watching it like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Actually, he eats the thing in the first episode, right?
Loses control and everything.
I hate this show.
Evangelion.
That's
I've been
weird.
watching it. I like it a lot, but it is very slow.
I think it's my fault because I was expecting like giant robots fighting. and shit.
Expecting Gundam.
See, that's your own fault.
But no, I tried 3 fucking times. The anime, then the movies. I fell asleep.
The rebuild series I liked a lot.
People like them. It's just not.
I'm watching the Netflix when Netflix picked it up. The subtitles are a little bit dodgy. Like they're not as closely related to the original as they could be, but I am having a much better time with Evangelion now. So,
Is it Evangelion?
Evangelion. It's supposed to be Evangelion.
There's different names for different series too.
Jordan's like,
It's Neon Genesis.
Neon Genesis Evangelion is the original one.
Even because Evangelion means like some angelic angels stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
like evangelical.
But
Oh,
the rebuild,
click
there's
for that.
like,
Yeah.
but Neon Genesis.
New creation.
Then it's called the rebuild series.
this is why I hate this show. What is this?
Because they just it was so inaccessible for some people that they try to like make it easy for people to
it's
watch, and then they
fucking
just made it harder.
It's
There's
Yeah.
a lot going
But just
on.
watch Neon Genesis Evangelion, you'll be all right.
I tried 3 times. It's not. I wanted to get. I wanted to be part of this community. I wanted to be watch this show. It didn't work. Cool. The
All right.
robot looks cool though. He looks badass.
God, that's the only mech anime that I like. I fucking hate mech anime.
This is the whole reason why I ever bought Anthem. Is because in the demo,
What's
they.
Anthem?
You remember the game Anthem with the
Oh,
robots?
yeah,
It was a
yeah.
big flop.
The
What game?
Anthem. It's Anthem.
Anthem. The fucking what is it, BioWare? The BioWare game. The
Remember
games as a
that
service
you could
from
get in the
BioWare?
mech suits and fly around the world? People kept calling it Iron Man.
Anthem.
Yeah.
You don't remember Anthem?
Dude, that's how bad it failed. Because fucking
Oh, this.
Yeah.
When does it come out?
It's on Game Pass.
Came out 2 years ago.
yeah, dude, it flopped.
It knows that,
Hard.
yeah.
It like released and then just fucking jumped off a cliff.
But what gripped me into getting that game was just because
You have it.
I bought it because in the demo for it, because I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna try out the demo.
You're fucking playing Iron Man. You were cosplaying as Iron
Well,
Man.
it really grips you at the beginning because it let me straight up make Unit 1.
Oh, nice.
And then you get to crawl into it. And the animation for getting into those suits are so fucking cool
Yeah.
that I was like, I'm in. And then the game was garbage.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say. Good night.
Thank you guys for watching.
Just cut the black. Good night.
Tonight on Saturday Night.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 80. We're taking a break next week because I'm going on vacation. But then after that, we'll be.
Bryan actually going to go play Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2 again. I
Seattle.
don't have a PS4.
No, you're going to go to Seattle. You're
how you
actually
playing
going to
Seafood?
be. You're going to be in Last of Us 2.
What?
How you playing Seafood?
PC.
It's on PC.
Yeah, Epic Games. Epic Games Launcher. The Epic
You
Games
thought it was
Store.
an exclusive, didn't you?
No,
It was
It's
an
on-
Epic
it's
Games
on-
Store exclusive.
It's on Xbox.
it's like
I think, too.
Canaan. It's like a PC, PS4, PS5 thing.
Yeah.
I want to say it's on Microsoft Store.
No, it's like Epic Games Store exclusive. What the fuck ever. See us, join the Discord. It's on the link below. You can find us on Twitter, _ the Drunken Ship. You can find me on Twitter at Bryan or Chija. You can find Crockett on Twitter at,
Cyber_Calamity.
and Tay at Tay Infinite.
Yeah, that's your job.
And fucking, we'll see you here in 2 weeks and have a good time. Cheers.
See you guys.